Welcome back. An Oklahoma police captain says he was docked pay and moved to the graveyard shift at work after he refused to participate in a cultural event that took place at a mosque. Paul Field says he's a devout Christian and is now filing a lawsuit. Is this a case of political correctness gone awry?
Joining us now is the founder and president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy and author of Battle for the Soul of Muslim, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser. Dr. Jasser, good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. What's this about? This police officer was ordered to go to an Islamic cultural center, and he said, I'm not going to so-called Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Why did he decide not to go, and why do you believe he made the right decision?
Well, I'll tell you, this is a fascinating case because ultimately I think legally the case will turn on the fact that, this was a volunteer situation. They were appreciating the officers. He said, listen, I don't want to go to this interfaith event. I'm a devout Christian and I can't really respond to their theology. So he was being put into an interfaith theological scenario that he felt conflicted with his role as an officer. And his superiors said, you know what, you have to go or find some medical excuse. And he said, no, I don't want to go. And they basically then punished him and prevented him from getting raises, etc. And now he's saying, listen, this is political correctness and it is just wrong. And I'll tell you, even bigger than the legal issue up front is the bigger issue about partners that are legitimate for law enforcement. Up to the White House, they're talking about this from, their strategy last summer that came out about who's right partners and who's not. This mosque has had some radical speakers. The week before this event was held, an imam from New York, actually, Siraj Wahaj, who I've seen myself in the mid-90s, hold up a Quran and say that we need to, as Muslims, change the Constitution with this Quran. So basically, he's a separatist radical who was an unindicted co-conspirator in the '93 bombing of the World Trade Center, and he was speaking at that same mosque. So they're not legitimate partners, and we need a vetting process, and you can't, with political correctness, force officers to legitimize groups that they have problems with.
This, as we said, is going on in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's Captain Paul Fields. His attorney tells us this, quote, he was going to be in a place where people were going to refer to Jesus Christ as merely a prophet and not his Lord and Savior, and he wouldn't be able to respond to them in any way that was very troubling to him. Can you imagine a situation where it was reversed and a cop had to go to a Catholic center? Do we ever hear of situations like this?
Well, we don't, and this is where, minority faiths sometimes get, used as tools for political correctness, while the majority faith sort of gets, thrown under the bus. And I think at the end of the day, we have to look, is this effective for counterterrorism? There's no evidence that it is. And as a Muslim, do I want police officers coming that are coerced into coming? I don't think that's very Islamic. I want them to come if they want to be there. If they don't,
here's the hard question, Doctor. The hard question is, first of all, we reached out to the Tulsa Police Department for comment. We haven't heard back. But this is a paramilitary organization. The question I ask of you, and it's a reasonable question, and I hear what your answer is, shouldn't police officers be go where they're told to go, no matter what the faith, no matter what the political organization, no matter what stripe it is, even if it's in disagreement with their own religious, cultural, or political beliefs? Don't they have an obligation to do that? How do you answer that as we close this out?
Well, absolutely. I think that if this was official business, which he was told it wasn't official law enforcement cases, no open cases, no open engagement, this was a volunteer bridge building, and he said, this isn't my role as a police officer. So he wasn't violating what he thought his mission was, and I've seen them use this. I saw a head of an FBI in Phoenix actually be brought in for an award, and then they dressed him down about police rounding up Muslims, etc. So we have to be careful about what's police enforcement versus what's just community bridge building.
Well, we welcome a statement from the Tulsa Police Department if they want to get in touch with us. Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, thanks for being with us.
Well said.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Coming up, a 12-year-old benched for being too